Welcome to Denglisch Docs. What words and expressions in English are appropriate to use when talking about members of the LGBTQAI+ community? The abbreviation LGBTQIA+ stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, asexual, intersex plus. When referring to the LGBTQIA community, someone might ask, when is the LGBTQIA+ community having their annual worldwide Pride celebration in New York City? Or someone might ask, does the homosexual community in New York have a lot of heterosexual supporters? The term homosexual refers to people who are attracted to people of the same sex, and the term heterosexual or straight refers to those who are attracted to people of the opposite sex. When talking about individual members of the LGBTQIA+ community, we recognize each person according to their sexual orientation or gender identity. To avoid mislabeling, you can ask, how do you identify? And they may reply, I am cisgender, which means they identify as the sex they were assigned at birth. They can also say, I am gay or I'm a lesbian. Lesbian refers to women who are exclusively attracted to other women. If your coworker Beth says, I identify as a lesbian, you can ask, do you have a girlfriend or a partner? It's best to use the term partner when talking to people that we don't know very well. This way we don't assume or offend them. The term gay is often used to refer to men who are attracted to other men, but it can also be used to refer to women who are attracted to other women. So, if someone asks, is Charles gay? You can say, yes, he prefers to date men. If someone asks, is he out of the closet or is he out? They're asking if Charles has publicly declared his sexual orientation. Be careful, you never want to out someone, which means to disclose their sexual orientation or preferences before they decide to. And it is offensive to say stop acting gay or that is so gay, even when joking, because it aims to stereotype a group of people. Bisexual refers to a person who experiences attraction to more than one gender. Sometimes we say bi. For example, you can say, is Fred gay or bisexual? I just want to know because my friends Eric and Angela are also bi and also both interested in him. Transgender or trans describes people whose gender identity is different than the sex assigned to them at birth. A trans man is a person whose sex assigned at birth was female but whose gender identity is male. And a trans woman is a person whose sex assigned at birth was male but whose gender identity is female. When talking to a transgender person, do not use the word transsexual too hastily. Some people are offended by that word. Some people are not. Although the word queer may be offensive to some members of the LGBTQIA+ community, many people, especially the youngers, see it as a word of pride and use it as an umbrella term for sexual and gender minorities who are not heterosexual or cisgender. Asexual refers to people who experience little to no sexual attraction. In English, when we attach the prefix a to a word, it means not. Asymmetrical means not symmetrical. Apolitical means not political. Asymptomatic means having no symptoms. For instance, you may hear someone say, I tested positive for COVID-19, but I was asymptomatic. Intersex refers to people whose bodies fall outside the strict traditional binary of male or female. People used to call intersex hermaphrodites, but that is outdated and no longer acceptable. When referring to someone who doesn't identify as male or female, you can say my friend is non-binary. Please note that non-binary people may or may not identify as transgender. The plus in LGBTQIA+ stands for everyone who is not already included, such as pansexual individuals who are attracted to people of all gender identities. The LGBTQIA community is as diverse as the colors of a rainbow, so we should always use inclusive language that highlights the full spectrum of all its members in their connective unity.
We like that.